What if the secret to extraordinary wealth isn't just about money, but the life you dream of living every day? Imagine a world where abundance, purpose, and self-mastery blend seamlessly to create lasting prosperity. This book is your invitation to unlock that possibility, revealing practical steps, unconventional insights, and empowering strategies that will transform how you think, act, and succeed. Open your mind to the journey ahead and discover how each decision can move you closer to the vibrant, fulfilled life you truly desire. Wealth in Action. Create the life of your dreams, written and published by Intentional Prosperity. Chapter 1. Define your dream life. What would your days look like if you woke up every morning feeling inspired, purposeful, and deeply satisfied by the direction of your life? Imagine stepping into a future where your biggest hopes aren't just distant fantasies, but unfolding realities. For many, this idea seems both exciting and just out of reach, buried under layers of daily routine, obligations, and the noise of what others think we should want. We often navigate life with a blurry vision of what success or happiness truly means to us, caught between social expectations and our own quietly persistent desires. It's easy to become stuck in patterns, following paths set by others or chasing generic goals, until one day we realize we've never truly defined the life that would make us come alive. This uncertainty about what we genuinely want is a struggle that almost everyone faces at some point. Perhaps you sometimes sense a gap between the life you live and the one you long for, a subtle dissatisfaction that whispers whenever you have quiet moments alone. Maybe you've made choices based on what seems practical or safe, rather than what really excites your soul. Or maybe you set new goals year after year, only to lose momentum because those goals were never deeply connected to the core of who you are. The frustration compounds when you notice others making progress, leaving you to wonder if they know something you don't. The truth is, without a clear, personal definition of what your dream life looks like, motivation dries up, energy is scattered, and growth feels accidental rather than intentional. The solution begins with the bold act of envisioning, seriously and unapologetically defining what your dream life actually means. This isn't just wishful thinking or idle fantasy. It's a powerful process of diving beneath surface desires and social programming to discover what truly lights you up. By giving yourself permission to identify your deepest longings, you create a new map for your life, one where clarity replaces confusion and every step you take can be measured against your own standard of fulfillment. Defining your dream life means peeling away the shoulds and tuning into the wants, no longer apologizing for the hopes and ambitions that feel most authentic to you. This foundational act transforms everything. Once you're clear on what matters most, obstacles become navigation points rather than full stops, and choices become purposeful instead of pressured. Your days begin to align with your highest vision, giving you the resolve to say no to distractions and yes to opportunities that build genuine satisfaction. The courage to name your dream is also the courage to step out of autopilot and take charge of your destiny on your terms. By starting with definition, you plant the seeds of possibility and growth, creating a personal vision that not only grounds you, but propels you forward. Imagine the difference this clarity makes as you set intentions, choose relationships, pursue career moves, or invest your energy each day. Instead of moving reactively, you are proactive, confident, and anchored. The life of your dreams becomes less a distant hope and more a living reality that grows stronger with every choice, because the direction is finally, unmistakably yours. The journey toward defining your dream life starts with getting honest and vivid about your desires. Begin by setting time aside, away from distractions, to reflect and write about what an ideal day in your dream life would look like. Where you are, how you spend your time, who you're with, what you're feeling, and what you've achieved. Let your imagination run free and avoid censoring yourself. Even if a dream seems distant or impossible, capture it on paper. Next, identify what truly excites you from that vision. What patterns, themes, or values appear. Look for the feelings and experiences that light you up on a soul level, not just things you think you should want because of family, friends, or society. Pinpointing these will help you create a criteria for fulfillment that is personal and real. Once your dream begins to take shape, translate it into specific goals. Imagine a person who feels stuck in a tiring 9-to-5 job. She sits down and writes about a life where she's creative, working from anywhere, with flexible hours and inspiring people. She doesn't just list make more money. Instead, she sees herself designing innovative products with a passionate team, exploring new places, and having mornings free to exercise and paint. By anchoring her goals in her values, creativity, flexibility, connection, she suddenly feels direction and motivation return. Each decision she makes from that moment can be gauged against her dream vision, and she starts to notice opportunities that align with her new path. Practically applying this practice calls for consistent review. Every week, revisit your vision and ask yourself what small action you can take to align with those values today. Is it saying no to a draining commitment so you have time for something energizing? Is it signing up for a workshop, reaching out to a potential mentor, or finally taking the first step on a new project? The dream life reveals itself in the tiny, courageous choices you make daily. As you do this, you'll begin to trust your intuition, since the process is led by your authentic desires. Reluctance or guilt will start to fade, replaced by the self-respect that comes from honoring your own dreams. Benefits unfold quickly. With every step, you build clarity, confidence, and purpose. Life stops feeling shapeless and starts becoming an ongoing adventure. Problems look smaller when set against a larger mission. Your energy increases as your actions match your values. Saying yes has real meaning, and saying no feels empowering instead of scary. Gradually, the world seems richer, possibilities expand, and you develop trust in your ability to create change. Those around you notice the change too, often feeling inspired by your newfound focus and happiness. Now is the time for action. Tonight, take 20 uninterrupted minutes, grab a notebook, and give yourself permission to define the life of your wildest hopes, not just for someday, but as a serious map for your next steps. Promise yourself that this vision is worthy of exploration, not just in thought, but in action. Share your progress with a friend, mentor, or even in your favorite online communities. Most importantly, remember that this process is not about perfection. Your dream may shift as you go, and that's part of the beauty. Treat this as the beginning of a lifelong relationship with your own evolving potential, and celebrate your courage just for starting. In the next chapter, you'll learn how your internal beliefs about abundance either fuel or limit what you think is possible for your life. We'll explore how shifting your mindset into abundance thinking can make your dream life even more attainable. Before you turn the page, don't forget to join our Intentional Prosperity channel. Give this book a like if you're enjoying it so far, and share your thoughts for how our community can keep growing together. Your vision deserves momentum, and your journey is just getting started. Chapter 2: Shift into Abundance. Thinking. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract opportunities and blessings wherever they go, while others feel stuck, battling obstacles at every turn? Picture for a moment what your life might look like if you genuinely believed there was more than enough happiness, success, and prosperity to go around. For many, the idea of abundance can feel foreign, especially when we're bombarded by messages of scarcity, warnings about limited time, money, or resources, and reminders to grab what you can before someone else does. These patterns can quietly shape our worldview, shrinking our sense of possibility and subtly convincing us that only so much good can come our way. Living in this mindset of not enoughness is exhausting and discouraging. It shows up in countless ways. Maybe you hold back from taking a risk because you're afraid to lose what little you have, or you struggle to celebrate others' wins, worrying it means less for you. Sometimes this scarcity lens leaves you feeling tense about your job, anxious about money, or stuck in comparison when you see the successes of friends or strangers online. It gets easy to believe that you're trapped in a cycle determined by luck or circumstance, rather than recognizing the power you hold to change your reality from within. But here lies a powerful truth. Scarcity is not a universal law. It is often a learned perspective, fed to us by past experiences and cultural norms. What if the shift to abundance thinking is the secret ingredient you've been missing? One that can dissolve invisible barriers and open doors you never imagined possible. Abundance thinking isn't about denying challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's the choice to look for possibilities and opportunities, even in difficult moments. Abundance thinking invites you to expand your vision beyond current limitations, trusting that the world offers space for your dreams and that your growth does not take away from anyone else. The core idea is simple but transformative. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. When you start to expect good things, you begin to recognize chances that fit those expectations. When you believe resources, love, or ideas will continue to grow, you naturally begin to share, collaborate, and create with others, rather than guarding what you have. Imagine the relief and freedom that comes with believing you are not in secret competition with the world, but a valued, deserving part of its limitless potential. Suddenly, life becomes less about battling for scraps and more about weaving your own thread, with confidence, into the tapestry of abundance all around you. This way of seeing the world doesn't just feel better, it produces real, lasting shifts in behavior and results. Doors begin to open because you're now searching for ways forward rather than reasons to hold back. People are drawn to your optimism, partnerships flow more easily, and setbacks seem less threatening because you trust in the steady supply of new opportunities. As you practice abundance thinking, every day brings potential for growth, joy, and prosperity, building a self-reinforcing loop that transforms your life from the inside out. Shifting into abundance thinking is not just a mindset shift, but a practice you can apply every day. Start with simple awareness. Notice the thoughts and language you use when you talk or think about money, time, relationships, or opportunities. When you catch yourself focusing on what's missing or what you're afraid of losing, consciously pause and ask what is already present in your life, even the small things. By training your mind to spot blessings rather than just lack, you build the neural pathways that make abundance thinking natural. For instance, imagine you missed out on a job you wanted. Instead of fixating on this loss, you could remind yourself of your skills, the other doors this could open, or the new relationships and experiences you've gained while searching. Each shift, no matter how small, strengthens your ability to trust in the possibilities around you. Step deeper into abundance by sharing something with others, especially when it feels uncomfortable. This act directly challenges the belief that resources are scarce. For example, if you're concerned about finances but choose to donate a small amount to a cause you care about, or treat a friend to coffee, you signal to your mind that giving and receiving flow together. Similarly, when you celebrate another person's success, even if you crave something similar, you affirm that achievement is expansive and there's more than enough for everyone. Picture someone who watches a coworker get promoted and, even through jealousy, decides to sincerely congratulate them and support their growth. Over time, these acts retrain your perspective, reducing resentment and building community. Set aside moments each day for gratitude. This goes beyond making a quick mental list. It's about feeling rich in areas outside of money and awards. Maybe it's a sunny morning, your health, a loving text from a friend, or the coffee you enjoy. Sarah, for example, realized she was often anxious about her financial situation. She began ending each day by writing down 3 things she valued and already possessed. Soon she noticed she slept better, her outlook improved, and she stepped into social situations with more confidence. Gratitude reset her filters from lack to plenty, and it can do the same for you. With consistent action, the benefits compound. Your confidence soars as you embrace opportunity, stress begins to fade in the face of trust, and your ambition finds new, more optimistic fuel. Each challenge becomes a chance to practice your new mindset, creating a kind of resilience that opens unexpected doors. Abundance thinking doesn't guarantee everything will go your way, but it transforms setbacks into lessons and moments of happiness into daily experiences. The more you apply abundance thinking, the more you draw in opportunities, helpful people, and encouragement from corners you never expected. Now is the moment for you to take charge. Tonight, commit to identifying and reframing 3 scarcity-driven thoughts. then replace them with abundant possibilities. Keep practicing, even if it feels unnatural at first, and watch as your perspective transforms your reality in surprising ways. Remember, this is a journey, not a single leap, a path that deepens with each brave step you take. Up next, we'll explore how to clarify the meaning of wealth in your life, making prosperity personal and purposeful, going far beyond bank accounts and material possessions. Stay engaged by subscribing to the Intentional Prosperity channel, liking what you're reading, and leaving a comment about how abundance thinking could impact your outlook or what insights you hope to explore next. Let's encourage each other and build a thriving community of prosperity together, one positive thought at a time. Chapter 3. Clarify Wealth with Purpose. What if true wealth was measured not just in cash and possessions, but by how clearly your life is guided by purpose? Imagine the stress, the indecision, and the constant comparison fading away as you connect every ambition to something bigger than yourself. For many, wealth feels confusing, tangled up in what the world tells us to chase. Numbers in a bank account, fancy cars, the latest status symbols. People work hard, sometimes for decades, assuming happiness will appear the moment they reach a financial milestone. Yet all too often, that day arrives, and the expected joy never shows up. It's almost as if something essential is missing, something powerful and invisible that wealth alone cannot buy. So many of us fall into the trap of chasing money without knowing why. We may see someone else's luxury vacation or career move and instantly feel the urge to compete or keep up, never pausing to wonder if that version of success fits who we really are. The danger is that we become driven by anxiety, fear of missing out, fear of scarcity, fear of not being enough. When our definition of wealth is borrowed and not rooted in our own values, we risk spending time and energy without ever reaching a feeling of fulfillment. You might notice this when you achieve a new goal and feel proud for a split second, then almost immediately become restless or dissatisfied, as if you were running on a treadmill that never stops. This can drain your energy and leave you questioning the true meaning of your hard work. Clarifying wealth with purpose is the antidote to these common frustrations. Instead of relying only on society's measures or climbing ladders without end, this shift invites you to tie your vision of prosperity directly to what feels authentic and meaningful in your life. The core idea here is simple, yet life-changing. Wealth is not the goal itself, but the tool. When money, resources, and accomplishments flow from a deep sense of purpose, every achievement brings satisfaction and alignment, not just temporary excitement. This means asking, "Why do I want more?" and allowing the honest answers to guide your intentions and actions. Maybe you crave financial success to provide security for your family, create art that changes lives, or to support causes you care passionately about. By connecting your financial dreams to a broader mission, you create a sense of richness in every area of your daily existence, no matter what your current balance or career status shows. The beauty of this approach is in the freedom and clarity it brings. Rather than feeling guilty or hollow when you succeed, you celebrate knowing your efforts support your highest values. Making choices becomes easier too. Decisions about spending, saving, and investing naturally align with what truly matters to you. As you clarify your version of meaningful wealth, you begin to attract more of what fulfills you, not just what looks good on paper. Through this process, stress lifts, motivation strengthens, and everyday actions begin to add up to a sense of prosperity that goes beyond numbers, bringing joy and purpose into everything you do. Bringing purpose and clarity to your definition of wealth begins with self-reflection. Set aside uninterrupted time to ask yourself what truly matters to you beyond the surface-level rewards. Write your answers down, then take it a step further. Consider how money, resources, or opportunities can support these values, rather than become the values themselves. For instance, you may realize that you value freedom and creativity, so you start to see financial resources not as ends in themselves, but as means to give you more time for artistic work, travel, or spending time with loved ones. Anchor your definition of prosperity in experiences and outcomes that bring you a deep sense of satisfaction, so that every goal or financial milestone is a step toward expressing your true self. From there, get specific. Transform broad values into clear intentions. If generosity is important, brainstorm ways you might share your wealth, time, money, skills with your community or chosen causes. If personal growth excites you, plan how new resources can lead to learning, exploration, and self-expression. For example, someone who values education might dedicate a portion of their income to ongoing courses, books, or seminars that fuel their curiosity and skill set. Another individual may feel most fulfilled when their success allows them to mentor others, so they make it a point to give back knowledge or support to those earlier on a similar journey. Next, use these intentions to guide decision-making in your daily life. Before each major choice, ask, will this use of my resources move me closer to my purpose? Practical application can involve creating a list of possible purchases or investments and ranking them according to how well they support your values, rather than seeking the most impressive or popular choice. By building this habit, your choices grow more intentional, and you begin to feel lighter and more empowered, rather than weighed down by outside expectations. This sort of alignment delivers immense benefits. With each purpose-driven choice, your life starts feeling uniquely yours, less about meeting arbitrary standards and more about expressing your individuality. As you put your purpose behind your pursuits, you will notice a rising self-respect, a more consistent energy, and improved relationships, because others will sense your honesty and clarity. Challenges become clearer too. When they arise, your purpose acts as a guide, helping you navigate obstacles without losing sight of what creates true happiness for you. Over time, you become increasingly resilient and resourceful, equipped with a sense of direction and fulfillment that grows independently of your current circumstances. To set this growth in motion, try this exercise tonight. Write down 3 values that define what meaningful prosperity means for you, and jot a sentence or two about why each matters. Then, list one simple step you can take in the coming week that uses your resources in line with each value. Each small act becomes a foundation, signaling to yourself that you are building not just wealth, but a life deeply aligned with your core beliefs. Take a few moments to reflect on the satisfaction and pride this brings, and know that each purposeful choice moves you closer to a richer, more personally fulfilling future. Coming up next, we will unravel how to master your inner voice, the subtle force that can shape your actions, fuel your ambitions, or quietly hold you back. Get ready to recognize its power and learn to guide it toward every larger vision in your life. Don't miss out on the chance to deepen this journey with us. Subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, give this book a like, and share your own definitions of purposeful wealth in the comments, or send suggestions for topics you most want to explore. Let's keep building a movement for meaningful prosperity, one value-driven step at a time. Chapter 4: Master Your Inner Voice. Have you ever wondered whose voice you actually hear most in your life? It isn't a friend, a parent, or any outside critic. It's the voice inside your own mind. Imagine for a moment what your days would look like if that inner voice were a steady source of encouragement, wisdom, and courage, instead of a critic filling your mind with doubt or fear. For many people, the inner dialogue is not an ally, but an obstacle, creating constant self-judgment and second-guessing. It's the voice that questions your dreams, plays back old mistakes, or frets about being good enough. Over time, this critical dialogue becomes a habit so familiar that we forget we can change it. This struggle is nearly universal. We grow up collecting messages from school, family, work, and society that plant seeds in our minds, some nurturing, but many that grow into limiting beliefs. These old echoes can replay for years. You always mess up. You aren't as talented as them. Don't get your hopes up. Sometimes, the negative dialogue gets so loud that it drowns out our confidence and creativity, making it difficult to take risks or embrace new opportunities. You might find yourself procrastinating, passing on exciting adventures, or playing small, all because your inner voice keeps warning you of imagined dangers or past failures. This creates a self-imposed ceiling on your potential, blocking the path to prosperity and fulfillment. But what if there were a way to shift this dialogue, turning inner critics into your strongest supporters? Mastering your inner voice is the solution. transforming that constant companion in your head from a harsh judge into a wise coach and trusted friend. This process is completely accessible, no matter where you start from. The first step is awareness, noticing the tone, content, and patterns of your internal conversation. It means pausing long enough to catch the old scripts in the moment, rather than accepting them as facts. When self-doubt or negativity pops up, you treat those thoughts not as commands but as opinions, ones you have the power to accept, question, or rewrite. By taking charge of your inner voice, you unlock a powerful form of self-leadership. You learn to set the tone you want to hear, replacing criticism with encouragement and trading fear for curiosity. Imagine the shift in your life when, instead of telling yourself you can't or shouldn't, your internal monologue asks, "What can I learn?" Or, "How can I grow from this?" The benefits ripple far beyond your own self-talk. You start feeling more resilient, creative, and capable of making decisions that align with your purpose. Your energy and motivation naturally rise because you're no longer drained by the weight of unnecessary self-judgment. Over time, you move from surviving in your own mind to thriving, empowered from within to take on each new challenge with clarity and compassion. To begin mastering your inner voice, it helps to develop keen awareness of the patterns and content that consistently arise in your self-talk. Start by setting aside quiet moments throughout your day to simply observe your thoughts, especially when faced with a challenge or decision. Carry a small notebook or open a digital note and briefly jot down the exact phrases you notice in your self-talk. For instance, you might catch yourself thinking, "I always mess this up," or "I'm not good at this." With each statement, pause to reflect on its origin. Ask yourself whose words these truly are, yours or echoes from the past. Just recognizing this difference often reveals how much old programming has shaped your inner dialogue. Once you start noticing negative or limiting self-talk, the next step is to challenge it with objectivity and kindness. Instead of letting harsh thoughts dictate your feelings and actions, question their validity by asking for evidence. If your inner critic claims you're bad at public speaking, recall times when you tried and learned or were even complimented after speaking. Then reframe your thoughts with compassionate alternatives, such as, "I am still improving at public speaking, and every effort makes me better." By consistently practicing this mental pivot, you create a new, healthier baseline for your inner voice, one that is based on encouragement and growth rather than fear or shame. Applying this technique can have powerful effects. Imagine a college student, Andrea, who often heard the inner warning, "You're not smart enough for this degree." When she started noting when this thought appeared, she also began collecting small wins, good grades, positive feedback, moments when she contributed well in class. By consciously reminding herself of these successes and responding to doubts with, "I'm learning more each semester, and that's enough," Andrea gradually built up the courage to volunteer for leadership roles in her program. As her inner coach strengthened, so did her belief in her own abilities. This internal transformation unlocked opportunities in both her academic and personal life, leading her to experiences she once blocked herself from trying. The ongoing benefit of mastering your inner voice is a steady rise in confidence, persistence, and emotional freedom. Self-doubt no longer automatically halts your progress. Motivation and creativity flourish because you feel supported from within, not criticized. Even when mistakes happen, you treat yourself with patience, creating space for growth and resilience rather than guilt and avoidance. Over time, you'll find yourself trying new things, speaking up, and connecting more deeply with others, because the soundtrack in your head is finally an ally, not a saboteur. Make it a habit, starting today, to notice one critical thought and turn it around with a question or statement rooted in growth or kindness. For the next week, commit to replacing every harsh inner comment with at least one encouraging or neutral observation. As simple as this sounds, it rewires the foundation of your mindset and lays the groundwork for steady self-belief. Remind yourself that change is a process, not a single event. Every moment you become a little more compassionate with yourself, you take another step toward the life you want. In our next chapter, we'll explore how to build daily winning habits that align with your vision and support lasting achievement. Before moving forward, remember to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel. Give this book a like if you've found value so far, and share your own journey with self-talk in the comments, or leave suggestions for future discussions. Join the movement of cultivating powerful inner voices and watch how even the smallest changes within can unfold into lasting external results. Chapter 5. Build Daily Winning Habits. What if every accomplishment, big or small, could be traced not to bursts of motivation or luck, but to the simple actions you repeat every day? Imagine how different your life would look if your daily routines automatically set you up for success, no matter how you felt or what challenges came your way. For many people, consistency is the missing link between goals and reality. We often feel inspired for a short time, dive into new targets with enthusiasm, then quickly get sidetracked by distractions, setbacks, or simply the stress of everyday life. Without habits to hold us steady, progress becomes unpredictable, and the excitement of new ambitions fades as quickly as it appeared. This struggle with consistency is something almost everyone faces, regardless of how strong their intentions are. Maybe you start exercising or learning a new skill, only to fall out of practice after a few days or weeks. Sometimes it feels like you're on a constant roller coaster, one day focused, the next overwhelmed or discouraged, slipping back into old routines that keep you from making meaningful change. Life's demands rarely slow down, and relying on willpower alone can feel exhausting. Without simple, repeatable actions to anchor your days, even the most powerful dreams can feel frustratingly out of reach. The transformative solution to this problem is the science and art of building daily winning habits. A habit is a behavior you perform so regularly that it becomes almost automatic, requiring less effort and thought over time. When you deliberately shape your days with positive rituals, you create a framework for progress that operates in the background, pushing you gently forward with minimal resistance. This is not about changing your life overnight, but about setting up small, smart routines that support your bigger goals. The beauty of habit building is that you don't have to feel in the mood each day. The action simply becomes part of who you are. The core idea here is that your habits will shape your destiny far more reliably than your bursts of motivation ever could. Adding just one good habit can lead to a chain of positive changes. 10 minutes of reading each morning can lead to greater knowledge, which boosts confidence and sparks new opportunities. A habit of reflecting on your day can help you learn from experience, celebrate progress, and quickly get back on track after setbacks. The benefits build steadily with every repetition. You reduce decision fatigue, reclaim mental energy, and steadily move toward your desired future without constantly wrestling with yourself. Adopting this perspective about habits is empowering because it places growth and improvement directly within your reach, turning hope into action and vision into reality. When your days work for you automatically, you wake up to a life where your dreams are built, step by consistent step, on the solid ground of your daily choices. Turning the idea of daily winning habits into reality starts with choosing just one small action you can repeat easily among your existing routines. The best way to begin is to select a single goal that matters to you, maybe improving your fitness, growing your knowledge, or boosting your confidence, and then break it down into the tiniest possible step that feels almost easy to accomplish. For example, if you want to start exercising, commit to a 2-minute stretch each morning before breakfast, rather than promising yourself an hour-long workout that you're likely to skip. If your goal is to read more, pick a set time each day to open a book for 5 minutes. Anchor this new habit to an existing cue, such as after brushing your teeth or when you sit down with your morning coffee. By making it specific and attaching it to something you do every single day, you make the habit far more likely to stick. Next, use the power of consistency to your advantage. Remind yourself that showing up, even imperfectly, is more important than pushing for grand results. Take the story of Liam, who struggled for years to keep any sort of practice routine as a musician. Inspired by the simplicity of tiny habits, he promised himself to play just one song every night after dinner. Some evenings he finished and put his instrument away, Other nights, the spark of starting led to an hour of enthusiastic practice. Over weeks, this small action became automatic. Gradually, his skills grew, and so did his passion for music, all because he focused on starting, not forcing himself to finish perfectly every day. This approach gave him steady growth and finally helped break the old cycle of fits and starts. Tracking your new habit can make a powerful difference. Try marking a calendar with a simple X every time you keep your commitment, or write a quick note in your journal recording what you did. As your streak builds, so will your confidence. See each mark not as pressure, but as proof of your steady progress. On days you miss, simply ask what got in the way and gently recommit. Shame has no place here, only curiosity and growth. Over time, these marks become a visual reminder that you are someone who follows through and creates positive change one step at a time. The benefits of daily winning habits are transformative. With every repetition, your new action burrows deeper into your identity. You begin to see yourself not just as someone who tries, but someone who does. This shift slowly rewrites your beliefs, making bigger goals seem possible and setbacks less discouraging. You gain time, reduce overwhelm, and feel that progress is always within reach, no matter what life throws your way. Start your journey tonight. Choose one habit you wish to grow. Make it so manageable you can finish it every single day, and set a trigger that makes it automatic. Record your wins, however small, and celebrate each one as a victory over inertia or old patterns. Remember that with every day you show up, you make the next day easier. Momentum is your ally now. In the next chapter, you'll discover how creating value that compounds can push your winning habits even further, helping you build wealth and opportunity that multiplies over time. Before moving on, subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, give this book a like, and tell us in the comments which habit you're starting or what you've learned about building consistency. We'd love to support your progress and expand our community of daily achievers together. Chapter 6. Create value that compounds. What if every small effort you made today could set off a chain reaction, multiplying your growth and impact beyond your wildest expectations? Imagine that each thoughtful action, helpful conversation, or new piece of knowledge quietly stacks with the last, turning into something vastly greater than the sum of its parts. Most people approach life, success, and wealth as if every win is isolated, a direct result of a single burst of hard work or luck. Yet many find themselves running in circles, working hard but feeling stuck, and wondering why progress feels so slow despite consistent effort. We're taught to search for big breaks or overnight results, but seldom realize that steady, value-creating activities set the stage for those breakthroughs to happen at all. This misunderstanding is a common struggle. You might feel as though your daily contributions at work go unnoticed, or that the extra effort you invest in your relationships and skills yields too little, too late. Perhaps you watch others rise quickly, landing promotions, building wealth, developing strong networks, and the path they took seems like a mystery. It's easy to get disheartened when you don't see immediate rewards, or when you compare yourself to someone farther ahead and underestimate the slow build that got them there. The truth is that many forms of true prosperity are not grown overnight, but through sustained acts of value that begin modestly and then multiply, sometimes invisibly, over weeks, months, or even years. The key to transforming this dynamic is embracing the power of value creation that compounds over time. This approach means shifting your focus from chasing instant results to consistently offering something meaningful, whether that's in the form of solving problems, sharing wisdom, building relationships, or refining your skills. The magic of compounding isn't just for money. It works in every important area of your life. When you give, invest, or improve by even a tiny amount, the benefit quietly multiplies in ways you may not recognize until much later. The core idea is simple but profound. The compound effect rewards your ongoing efforts by stacking growth upon growth, so small acts done well and often turn into momentum, recognition, and opportunities that feel almost effortless. Approaching your life and work through this lens not only makes progress feel possible, it instills a sense of purpose and hope along the way. By choosing to create value, even in the smallest ways, you build a foundation of trust, expertise, and goodwill that encourages more opportunities to find you. The benefits expand outward, compounding your skills, reputation, and impact until positive results begin to arrive faster and in greater measure than you ever thought possible. This doesn't mean working nonstop or sacrificing balance. Rather, it's about intentionally adding value so every action today becomes a building block for a brighter, fuller tomorrow. To activate the magic of compounding value in your own journey, begin by identifying a small area of your life or work where you can add a bit of extra effort or intention. Instead of trying to overhaul everything at once, focus strategically on consistency. For example, if you aspire to advance in your career, start by dedicating 15 minutes at the end of each workday to learning something new or improving a process, even if it's as simple as reading an article or organizing a project file. Don't underestimate these small moves. Over a few weeks or months, you'll notice your knowledge has quietly increased, your efficiency multiplies, and your reputation as a proactive contributor starts to take root. What first felt like a trivial task soon forms the foundation for greater responsibility and recognition. Real-life transformation happens for those who commit to giving a bit extra, consistently and with purpose. Take Melinda, who worked as a customer service representative. She decided that each day she would solve at least one customer's problem with a personal touch, sending a handwritten thank you or sharing a helpful resource. These small gestures didn't call for superhuman effort, but over time, customers began to request her by name, her managers took notice, and she was promoted. Her story became a model for her department on how small, regular acts of value could lead to opportunity and trust. To apply this mindset, select one relationship, skill, or project that matters to you and set a simple repeating action. A daily check-in with a colleague, writing a short blog post each week, or even dedicating regular time to helping a friend or family member. Track your consistency and observe how the positive effects begin to ripple outward. As the compound effect takes hold, you'll notice doors opening, ideas building on one another, and a sense of meaningful progress that grows alongside your efforts. Instead of feeling stuck at the same level, you experience the growing power of momentum. More connections, more skills, more opportunities coming your way. The benefit of compounding value extends far beyond material rewards. You build lasting self-confidence because you see what steady dedication can accomplish. Your network expands because your reputation for adding value spreads, often without direct effort. You find more joy in giving, serving, and growing, not as a means to an immediate end, but as a foundation for a fulfilling and prosperous future. Through consistent effort, you also buffer yourself against setbacks. Your ongoing results are a testament to the resilience you are building day after day. Now is the perfect moment to start. Choose one area where you can add a small, meaningful act of value today, then repeat it tomorrow and the next day. As you follow through, watch how these small investments begin to multiply. Record your progress, notice the results, and allow yourself to enjoy the momentum you are generating. Remember that true success is rarely built in leaps, but in the steady climb of compounded action. In the coming chapter, you'll discover how relentless, inspired action amplifies all that you've built so far, helping you leap past obstacles and turn momentum into true breakthroughs. Don't forget to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, leave a like if you felt inspired, and share your own stories or ideas for compounding value in the comments below. By committing to this journey alongside a like-minded community, you accelerate your growth and invite even greater possibilities on the path to wealth in action. Chapter 7. Take relentless, inspired action. What would you accomplish if hesitation and self-doubt no longer stood in your way, and every idea that stirred your excitement led to bold action? Imagine living each day empowered, no longer waiting for perfect timing or absolute certainty, but instead moving forward with determination and energy whenever inspiration strikes. For most people, the barrier between dreams and reality is rarely a shortage of ideas, desire, or knowledge. It's the gap between intention and action that holds us back, creating endless cycles of procrastination, second-guessing, and unfinished plans. We get stuck planning, preparing, seeking reassurance, or waiting for motivation to appear, believing we must have everything figured out before we begin. This universal struggle can show up in subtle yet powerful ways. Maybe you have a vision for starting a new business, writing a book, or pursuing a career shift, but every day you delay with another round of research or preparation. Or perhaps inspiration frequently visits you, but each spark of energy dies down beneath a wave of distractions, worries, or the fear of making mistakes. Over time, this pattern breeds frustration and erodes confidence as you watch others make progress while your own goals remain just out of reach. You might feel restless, seeing your potential dimmed by inaction and wondering why it feels so hard to translate hopes into results. The transformation begins with the practice of relentless, inspired action, a mindset and discipline in which you follow your inspiration with committed movement, even before you have every detail mapped out. Instead of endless overthinking, you resolve to act on your best ideas swiftly, with heart and purpose, then learn and adjust along the way. Relentless action doesn't mean you exhaust yourself chasing every passing whim. It's about channeling purposeful energy toward the actions that matter most. It's a commitment to keep moving, to stay curious, and to trust that momentum will reveal solutions, opportunities, and lessons you could never find by waiting passively for the right moment. The core benefit of chasing relentless inspired action is how quickly it transforms your reality. Taking immediate steps, however small, builds personal trust. Each time you act on inspiration instead of avoiding it, you reinforce that you are someone who creates change in your own life. With every choice to push forward, you break the cycle of hesitation and build resilience. As your actions stack up, motivation tends to follow, and confidence grows with each milestone. This new approach pulls ideas out of your head and into the real world, where their true value and your capacity to adapt are revealed. Relentless inspired action leads you to achievements and new possibilities that planning alone could never promise, showing you through direct experience that your dreams are always within reach when matched by your willingness to move. The key to practicing relentless inspired action is to turn inspiration into movement while your enthusiasm is fresh. Start by carrying a small notebook or using a notes app to quickly jot down moments of excitement or meaningful ideas as soon as they come. Make it a habit that whenever you sense motivation rising, whether from a new possibility, a gut feeling, or simple curiosity, you commit to taking one real, tangible step before the moment passes. That first action doesn't have to be huge. It might mean emailing a potential collaborator, enrolling in a course, drafting an outline, or even simply making a phone call that feels a little beyond your comfort zone. The magic lies in making your inspiration visible and real, refusing to file it away for a later that rarely comes. Once you've made your initial move, break your next steps into the smallest pieces possible to lower the barrier for action. This makes progress feel much less overwhelming and more continuous. Consider Elena, who dreamed of starting a freelance graphic design business, but kept hesitating, telling herself she needed a perfect portfolio first. One day, she decided to act immediately with what she had, emailing 3 local businesses offering to do small logo designs at a discounted rate. Even though it was a modest start, those first logos led to testimonials and portfolio pieces, which then attracted more clients. Elena's willingness to take that first imperfect step and then follow through consistently transformed her entire career trajectory. Had she waited until things felt ready, she might have stayed frozen for years. To build the muscle of relentless inspired action, give yourself a 30-minute action window whenever inspiration strikes. In that window, choose something you can do right away to move an idea forward. If you catch yourself slipping into overanalysis, challenge the habit by setting a timer and promising yourself you'll act first and refine second. This approach flips the traditional mindset. You learn through doing, adapt on the fly, and let momentum work in your favor. The transformation you'll experience is powerful. When you repeatedly take inspired steps, you begin to trust yourself, breaking through old patterns of delay and perfectionism. Projects that were once dreams start taking shape before your eyes. You'll find you recover faster from mistakes because action keeps you moving rather than stuck in regrets. Over time, others notice your momentum, and opportunities find you simply because you're visible, engaged, and willing to experiment. Each time you dive in, you become more resilient, open-minded, and creative. Start this new habit today. Set an intention that you'll act on at least one inspired idea within 24 hours, no matter how small the step. Notice how your energy shifts when your dreams move from thought to action, and reward yourself with a moment of reflection or gratitude each time you follow through. Remember, each leap makes the next one easier, and soon your efforts will create a pattern of success that feels unstoppable. Next, we'll dive into mastering your energy, not just your time, so you can boost motivation and sustain your progress throughout your entire journey. Be sure to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, drop a like if you feel empowered, and let us know what inspired step you're going to take next, or leave ideas for future topics in the comments. By committing to relentless inspired action and sharing those wins with your community, you spark momentum in your own life and light the way for others to do the same. Chapter 8. Manage energy, not just time. What if the secret to extraordinary productivity and fulfillment isn't found in squeezing more into each minute, but in fueling the hours you do have with your best energy? Imagine waking up every day eager to tackle your biggest goals, feeling mentally sharp, focused, and unstoppable, even when your schedule is full. The difference between people who simply get by and those who thrive often comes down to how they manage not just their time, but their internal battery, the energy that powers every idea, action, and connection. In a world obsessed with calendars, schedules, and never-ending to-do lists, too many high achievers reach for the stopwatch when they should really be reaching within. Most of us know the struggle all too well. We constantly chase more hours, try to multitask, or pack our schedules from early morning till late at night. Despite our best intentions, we often find ourselves exhausted before the day is even halfway through. You might recognize the cycle. You begin your day determined to stay on schedule, only to crash by mid-afternoon or get distracted when your focus wanes. No matter how tightly you organize your tasks, it feels like you're running on empty. Meetings blur together, creativity dries up, and even the work you used to enjoy feels like a burden once fatigue sets in. In your personal life, you can become irritable, disengaged, or disconnected, not because you lack character or motivation, but because your core energy simply isn't being sustained or renewed. The transformative solution is to shift your mindset. Go beyond the digital calendar and learn to manage your personal energy first. Energy isn't a vague concept. It's as practical and measurable as time, and perhaps even more influential on your capacity for success. By paying attention to what drains you and what recharges you, you can intentionally structure your days to do your most important work when you feel at your strongest. This might mean reserving mornings for creative projects if you're an early riser, protecting a quiet midday break to restore, or learning to say no to commitments that sap your reserves. The real breakthrough is in seeing energy as a renewable resource, something you can invest in, track, and protect, rather than something you just spend down each day until it's gone. By developing this perspective, you unlock the tremendous advantages that come from channeling your brightest, most focused energy into the things that matter most. When you prioritize fuel over mere time filling, your output rises and your stress drops. You make better decisions, bounce back faster from setbacks, create meaningful connections, and even get more done in less time. Life begins to feel purposeful and vital because you're no longer running at the mercy of depletion. You're working from a place of strength that grows with you. Managing energy before time gives you the stamina to be a true creator in your life, bringing intensity, clarity, and joy back into the everyday pursuit of your dreams. To master the art of managing your energy, begin by not just tracking your hours, but by noticing how you actually feel at different points of your day. Take a week to simply observe. When does your focus naturally rise, and when does it wane? Jot down moments when you felt most alive, engaged, or productive, and contrast them with times when you felt drained or distracted. This awareness is more than self-care, it's strategic intelligence for your success. Suppose you consistently find you do your best thinking before lunch, but slump in the late afternoon. That simple insight allows you to shift key tasks like brainstorming or planning meetings to your high-energy zones, reserving administrative work or email for the lower moments. The next step is to deliberately engineer your schedule so the most important, creative, or demanding activities land when your energy is highest. For instance, let's look at David, who for years scheduled all his meetings and communications first thing in the morning and attempted his most substantial project work in the late afternoon. He often felt stuck, never able to produce his best work. After honestly tracking his energy patterns, David swapped his routine, defending his mornings for solo project work, then leaving calls and busy work for later in the day. In just a few weeks, he was astonished by how much more he accomplished, often finishing his key tasks by lunchtime and feeling less depleted at day's end. It's also crucial to pay attention to the activities, people, and environments that restore your energy. Make breaks part of your agenda, not an afterthought. Schedule time to walk, meditate, eat nourishing food, connect with encouraging friends, or enjoy hobbies that refill you. If possible, build micro-restoration into your daily flow. Imagine Mia, a teacher who always stayed late grading papers, but burned out quickly. When she started integrating 5-minute stretch breaks and stepping outside at lunchtime, her mood improved, her patience lasted longer, and her evenings felt less exhausting. Intentional renewal made her teaching both more effective and more enjoyable. As you implement these steps, the benefits become clear. Managing energy boosts your capacity far beyond anything pure time management alone can accomplish. You make progress more consistently because you no longer fight against your natural rhythms. Instead, you're riding the wave of your own biotempo. This builds lasting discipline, clearer focus, deeper satisfaction in both work and play, and a greater ability to bounce back from life's inevitable stressors. You become the kind of person who gets things done not by grinding harder, but by flowing smarter. Tonight, design tomorrow with your energy as your primary resource. Choose one high-priority activity and block time for it in your energy peak window. Plan at least one deliberate renewal break during the day. Write down what you notice and refine your routine with each new discovery. Remember, genuine growth comes when you invest in yourself as an energetic being, not a machine built for the clock. In the next chapter, you'll learn how to transform setbacks into your greatest source of power, using every challenge as fuel for deeper confidence and momentum. Don't miss out. Subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, drop a like if this insight resonates, and share your own strategies for boosting energy or making your day flow better in the comments. Together, let's keep lifting each other higher, one energized, intentional step at a time. Chapter 9. Turn setbacks into power. What if every stumbling block on your path was actually a stepping stone, carrying the secret code to your next breakthrough? Consider for a moment how your life would change if every disappointment or obstacle became a source of strength, wisdom, and renewed motivation. Most people brace against setbacks, fearing them as the end of progress or opportunities. We're taught to avoid mistakes at all costs, and when problems do happen, it's easy to slip into worry, self-blame, or the urge to quit altogether. It's a natural reaction because setbacks often arrive as surprises, instantly fueling doubt about our abilities and the path we've chosen. Everyone encounters these difficult moments. The project that collapses after months of effort, the job opportunity that slips away, or the relationship that ends unexpectedly. Sometimes it feels like the universe has singled you out for disappointment. You might compare yourself to others who seem to coast from win to win, wondering why you face so many hurdles and if you're just unlucky or unworthy. Setbacks sting, and it's easy to let them drain your energy, shrink your dreams, or convince you that another attempt isn't worth it. Each discouragement can feel like a personal stop sign, halting momentum right as you were gaining speed. But imagine a very different approach. A way of responding to setbacks that does not simply lessen the pain but actually transforms it into an advantage. The power lies in your response. Setbacks are not endings, but invitations to pivot, to learn, and to add new layers of resourcefulness. When you shift your mindset and see every challenge as a teacher rather than a punishment, you reclaim your agency. Instead of being trapped by what went wrong, you become curious. Why did this happen? What can I take from it? And how might it open a door I didn't even know existed? Each disappointment hides a lesson or a hidden opportunity, but only for those willing to look deeper. The transformative solution is choosing to face adversity not with resistance, but with the belief that every setback contains a powerful seed for personal growth. This perspective is accessible, not just for those who seem exceptionally tough or endlessly optimistic, but for anyone willing to pause, reflect, and question what else could be possible in the wake of disappointment. By adopting this mindset, you train yourself to extract value from every challenge, building resilience with each encounter. Over time, your setbacks don't make you smaller. They refine your skills, focus your motivations, and increase your ability to thrive. When applied consistently, this approach turns obstacles into fuel, turning every tough turn into proof that your journey is defined not by how few challenges you face, but by the resourcefulness, wisdom, and boldness you develop along the way. To turn setbacks into genuine sources of power, start by pausing whenever you meet an obstacle. Instead of reacting on impulse or rushing to distract yourself from the discomfort, allow yourself a moment to simply acknowledge the disappointment or frustration. Take a breath and ask, "What is this moment here to show me?" This question gently shifts your mindset from defeat or resentment toward curiosity and growth. Next, write down or reflect on what exactly happened and how you feel about it. Sometimes the act of putting your experience into words gives you fresh perspective and stops the pain from becoming the lens through which you see your entire journey. After that, accept the reality of the situation, not as a sign of your failure, but as a single event within a much larger story. By separating your sense of self-worth from the outcome, you free yourself to learn from the experience. Seek out the lesson, however small. Did your setback reveal a skill you need to strengthen, a mistake in your strategy, or simply a need for rest or help? Sometimes, setbacks are not evidence of inadequacy at all, but of ambition, proof that you're reaching for more. Frame the challenge as a puzzle waiting to be solved, or as feedback that will refine your approach and make your eventual success even more satisfying. Applying this approach is as practical as it is empowering. Consider the example of Darius, an entrepreneur whose new business launch was met with disappointing results. Instead of writing off the idea or blaming himself, he gathered honest feedback from customers and colleagues. He discovered a gap he had overlooked, a service the market wanted, but that his first version didn't quite deliver. Embracing the feedback rather than hiding from it, Darius revised his offering and relaunched with small improvements. Months later, the business flourished in ways his original plan never could have anticipated. The sting of the initial setback was real, but because he used it as fuel for change instead of a reason to quit, the experience propelled him towards greater impact and confidence. The transformation that comes from this mindset is deeply rewarding. Every time you extract value from adversity, you build lasting resilience. Challenges begin to feel less threatening, even exciting, as you start to trust your capacity to adapt and grow. Larger dreams become possible because setbacks no longer have the power to stop you. They become simply another step along the path, offering insights and strength at every turn. Others will notice the change too. You become the person calm in the storm, creative in chaos, inspiring in your determination to keep moving forward. As an encouraging next step, take a moment to revisit a recent setback. Write down 3 lessons or possible new directions it could offer you, no matter how minor. Let these insights guide your next actions, letting growth emerge from what once felt like discouragement. Allow yourself to see setbacks as teachers and make building resilience an ongoing practice. Next, you'll discover how aligning your daily actions with your vision multiplies your progress and satisfaction, bringing purpose to every step. Be sure to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, like this if it boosted your courage, and share an example of a setback turned strength in the comments, or let us know what you want covered next. Remember, together we can transform every challenge into a launchpad for new growth and greater abundance. Chapter 10. Align Action with Vision. What if every single move you made, each choice and effort throughout your day, pointed directly toward the future you genuinely desire? Picture for a moment the peace and confidence that would flow from knowing your smallest actions were building the very life you've envisioned. No more scattered energy, no more wondering if you're on the right path. For so many individuals, there's a gap between the goals they imagine and the daily steps they actually take. People honestly want meaningful change, but their routines often drift away from their values or visions over time, leaving them frustrated, drained, or even doubting their bigger dreams altogether. You might recognize this disconnect in your own life. Maybe you've crafted a vision or set powerful intentions, feeling excitement and hope at the start of a new year or after reading an inspiring book. But as the days pass, old habits slip back in, routines settle, and the sense of alignment fades into background noise. It's common to notice your time going to urgent but unimportant things. You might be busy yet feel unfulfilled, working hard but sensing there's no real movement toward what matters most. This can create a cycle of guilt and second guessing, as if you're living two different lives, the inspired one in your head and the reactive one lived minute by minute. The solution begins when you make a deliberate, ongoing decision to align your daily actions with the vision you hold for your future. This isn't about perfection or overhauling your life overnight. It's about the deliberate practice of checking in with yourself, choosing actions that send you in the direction of your dreams, and having the courage to let go of patterns that lead elsewhere. Alignment is not just a state to reach, but a skill to develop. The act of closing the gap between intention and behavior, so that even your smallest moments become building blocks toward lasting growth. When you begin aligning action with vision, something powerful happens. Clarity rushes in, making countless choices easier. You gain a sense of steady momentum as each task, conversation, or commitment fits together as part of a harmonious whole. This approach drives purpose into your everyday life, not just on special occasions, but in how you wake up, move through your to-do list, and say yes or no to what comes your way. Over time, aligning your daily efforts with your highest ideals weaves fulfillment, confidence, and trust into the very fabric of who you are. You become not just a dreamer, but a doer, turning hope into action and feeling finally that you are living the life you truly meant to live. To bring your vision into practical reality, begin by carving out a moment each morning to revisit your biggest goals and the kind of person you want to become. Write these down or read them aloud. This step anchors your long-term desires in your conscious mind, inviting you to hold them close as you make choices throughout the day. Start with clarity by asking yourself, what specific action can I take today that reflects the future I want? Maybe your vision is to be a healthy, energetic person. Today, that translates into a nourishing breakfast or a short walk at lunch. Or maybe your dream life revolves around leading a purpose-driven business. So you decide to reach out to a mentor or take 10 minutes refining your next project idea. Find and commit to those small steps that directly mirror your highest goals, rather than getting swept along by other people's priorities or the pressure of busy work. Next, continually check your alignment as the hours unfold. Pause before making new commitments, answering requests, or starting another task, and ask yourself, does this push me toward or pull me away from my true vision? This self-check empowers you to say no, adjust your schedule, or even renegotiate obligations with clarity and confidence. Think of Margot, who used to take every invitation at work and in her social circle, hoping to prove her reliability, but ending each week exhausted and resentful. After adopting daily alignment practices, she began saying yes only to tasks that supported her creative ambitions while politely declining others. Not only did her focus sharpen, but her productivity and enjoyment increased, and her colleagues learned to respect her new boundaries. Over time, the benefits of aligning your actions with your vision become obvious. Small, consistent steps, taken day after day, begin to accumulate in ways that dramatically shift your results and your sense of self. Waste, regret, and self-doubt drop away because you can trace your direction back to your authentic desires. You begin to feel the peace that comes from knowing you are living in integrity with yourself. Opportunities fit better, energy feels higher, and discouragement fades, because each day delivers a sense of making real progress towards what matters most. To activate this alignment, complete a simple exercise tonight. List your 3 most important aspirations. These are the outcomes or qualities that define your vision for your future. Then choose one action for each that you can take tomorrow, no matter how small, aligning your effort with your intention. When done, reflect on how these actions feel compared to tasks you take on just to stay busy or please others. Even a few days of this focus brings a sense of strength and satisfaction that can change the entire tone of your life and work. As you let alignment become a habit, remember that growth is a journey, not a race. Allow yourself patience while you build this new approach and celebrate your consistent steps forward. In the next chapter, you'll discover how multiplying your success with smart systems can make your upward momentum nearly automatic, freeing your mind and energy for even bigger dreams. Subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel to stay connected. Give this a like if it reignited your focus, and leave a comment on the alignment strategy or vision that inspires you most. This journey is always better when shared. Your progress can inspire the entire community to move forward in harmony with the futures we're all building. Chapter 11. Multiply through smart systems. Imagine waking up to a life where your progress accelerates, not because you're working harder or putting in more hours, but because thoughtfully designed systems are carrying your routine forward. What if your personal and professional growth unfolded with surprising ease, giving you the freedom to invest your energy where it counts most, and magnifying the effects of every effort? Many people dream of building wealth or changing their circumstances, yet they rely solely on willpower and perhaps a set of scattered habits. When the demands of life increase, when stress strikes, motivation dips, or distractions appear, the old way falters and results slow down. The reason is simple. Without systems, even our strongest intentions lose strength over time, and we find ourselves starting over again and again, stuck in a loop of manual effort and unpredictable results. This challenge is not unique. Maybe you've set ambitious goals and mapped out new routines only to watch your consistency falter by week 2. Life's interruptions can quickly unravel the best-laid plans. Even with daily habits in place, it's easy to lose track of progress, grow impatient, or feel overwhelmed by decisions. And as modern life grows trickier, more notifications, more roles to juggle, so does the risk of forgetting what actually matters. Without a support structure, staying focused and effective feels like an endless uphill climb, and lasting change remains a distant hope. The transformative solution is to multiply your results through smart systems, repeatable, organized methods that simplify choices, automate tasks, and place powerful routines on autopilot for you. A system may seem technical, but at its core, it is simply a sequence or structure that produces a desired outcome again and again with less effort. You already use systems in basic ways every day. Alarm clocks get you up, calendars nudge you before meetings, shopping lists streamline the chaos of the grocery store. The next step is to elevate these simple setups into fully aligned frameworks for your biggest ambitions. By mapping out processes and policies, or creating workflows that you can adjust but don't have to think about from scratch, you relieve your working memory and free up precious attention for things that require real creativity and presence. The beauty of adopting smart systems is that they protect your progress from the whims of mood, memory, or willpower alone. When you set up environments, digital tools, or semi-automated steps that conform precisely to your priorities, you reduce decision fatigue and the tendency to forget your purpose. Instead of wondering each morning how you'll stay on track or cramming all your efforts into late-night sprints, the systems work for you behind the scenes. This shift multiplies your effectiveness and results over time, unlocking greater ease, sharper focus, and a newfound sense of empowerment. Smart systems allow you to achieve more with less stress, consistently and reliably, making prosperity and freedom not just possible, but sustainable. To start multiplying your results through smart systems, first identify any area of your life where you are repeatedly using willpower or memory to keep things moving. These are prime spots for creating systems. Choose one daily or weekly process that feels cumbersome or drains your energy. Maybe it's managing your finances, staying on top of health, keeping your space organized, or balancing work tasks. Your first move is to break that process into clear steps and look for places where you can automate, delegate, or simplify. For example, if sticking with healthy eating is a challenge, you might develop a simple system. Select recipes every Sunday, order ingredients online for home delivery, and prep meal components in one batch. Set calendar reminders for these steps to ensure consistency. Suddenly, eating well isn't a daily decision. It's a streamlined flow that frees your mind from stress and guesswork. Consider the example of Tara, a freelance writer who always scrambled at tax season, hunting down invoices and receipts across multiple email accounts. Realizing this chaos cost her hours of lost time and caused annual anxiety, Tara built a digital folder and set up rules in her email to automatically flag and sort anything related to payments and expenses. Each week, she placed digital copies into her folder, tracking totals in a spreadsheet. By tax time, everything was ready. Her system worked quietly all year, turning what was once a source of dread into a source of relief and extra free time. With her mind clear of repetitive details, she could focus more creatively on her writing, growing her business faster than ever. Similarly, in your work or creative pursuits, try batching related tasks rather than juggling everything at once. Set dedicated blocks for email, deep work, and meetings to minimize task switching. Use digital tools like project management apps or simple checklists to structure progress on big projects. If growing your network is a priority, set weekly reminders to reconnect with a few key contacts or provide value. Turn it into a routine rather than a last-minute scramble. Systems built in this way gather strength over time. Momentum builds, results speed up, and stress declines as you know exactly what to do and when. The greatest benefit of systems is not just the time saved, but the ease and confidence with which you move through your commitments. You reduce anxiety, limit procrastination, and create repeatable processes that liberate your mental energy for innovation and connection. Suddenly, you become the person others rely on, not because you do everything manually, but because your organization and reliability are rooted in robust back-end systems. This sets the stage for scaling your efforts and enjoying true freedom, the space to focus on what excites you, experiment with new ideas, or simply enjoy life. Now is your opportunity to act. Pick one problem area and commit to building or refining a system that addresses it this week. Create instructions, triggers, or automations that make the process nearly hands-free. Track the difference for a month and note how much more productive and at ease you feel. Let this serve as proof of the value of multiplying through smart systems. Next, you'll discover how to embody wealth in motion, bringing every element you've built so far into dynamic, daily expression for prosperity that never stands still. Be sure to subscribe to Intentional Prosperity, like if this strategy sparked ideas, and share in the comments which system you'll start building or your favorite tips for streamlining life. As you invest in smarter ways of working, you multiply results for yourself and inspire others in this growing community of intentional prosperity. Chapter 12. Embody Wealth in Motion. What if true prosperity was never a static destination, but something you carried with you, evident in the way you think, act, move, and interact with the world every single day? Imagine wealth as an energy that radiates through your choices, confidence, relationships, and presence, a living force that expands with each generous act, brave decision, or experience of gratitude. Many people see wealth as a final achievement, a number reached, a status earned, or a prize collected at the end of a long journey. They chase security, recognition, or outward success, believing that fulfillment will follow the moment the goal is reached. Yet when milestones pass or circumstances change, satisfaction often proves fleeting, and the sense of abundance feels surprisingly unstable. This tension is deeply familiar. Perhaps you have experienced it yourself. The joy of an accomplishment soon replaced by the worry of what's next, or the struggle of comparing yourself to others who always seem just one step ahead. Maybe despite your best efforts and real growth, a nagging voice keeps asking, is it enough? Far too often, the richness of life is postponed, locked behind some future outcome, or buried beneath effort that never seems fully rewarded. This pattern creates an endless cycle of striving, restlessness, and self-doubt, even in the midst of clear progress. People who focus solely on accumulation or external validation can find themselves disconnected from the very feeling of abundance they are chasing. There is, however, a fundamentally different approach, the art of embodying wealth every moment, regardless of circumstances. Embodying wealth in motion means carrying a sense of prosperity, generosity, and gratitude within, showing up with confidence and fullness even as your goals evolve and grow. This perspective transforms the idea of wealth from something you chase to something you express, a way of being that draws more abundance into your life with every action and interaction. The key is recognizing that wealth is a mindset, a set of habits, a feeling, and a way of living that you can develop and demonstrate right now, not simply hope to gain in some future moment. By adopting this approach, you equip yourself to weather setbacks, celebrate each win, big or small, and find meaning and joy in the present. Wealth in motion inspires you to give generously and receive graciously, to invest in your well-being, and to connect with others in ways that multiply value for everyone involved. It means knowing your worth, speaking your truth, and making empowered choices, trusting that abundance is sustained and expanded not just by what you have, but by how you live. The beauty of this mindset is in its freedom. No matter what life brings, you can create, grow, and share from a deep well of prosperity that stays with you always. To truly embody wealth in motion, start by identifying daily opportunities to express abundance through intentional action. Consciously bring gratitude into your routine. Each morning or evening, focus on specific things you appreciate or moments when you felt prosperous in ways that go beyond material gain. Take active steps to contribute value, whether it's sharing your expertise, listening deeply to someone else's story, or performing a single act of generosity with no expectation of return. Alex, a consultant, realized that when he took time each week to coach younger colleagues freely, his own sense of fulfillment and confidence multiplied, paving the way for meaningful relationships and new opportunities. He became known not only for his results, but for the uplifting energy he brought into every room, a reflection of wealth lived daily. Next, practice mindful receiving. When recognition, support, or resources come your way, accept them fully and graciously. This practice reinforces self-worth, connecting your inner abundance with the flow of good things around you. Don't shy away from celebrating your achievements, no matter how modest. Let them serve as proof that wealth is constantly building, not only in your life but in the lives of those around you. For example, Priya, after years of chasing perfection in her creative pursuits, shifted her mindset to celebrate each step forward. Every finished project became a victory, deepening her satisfaction and boosting her motivation to keep growing. Integrate this ever-present prosperity mindset by cultivating resilience whenever challenges appear. When faced with setbacks, remind yourself that your true wealth lies not in outcomes, but in how you respond. In learning, gratitude for lessons gained, and determination to continue forward. This inner stability transforms disappointment into wisdom and fuels persistent growth. With this attitude, you'll find you can both hold big dreams and appreciate where you are now, moving gracefully between striving and savoring. To anchor this new way of living, adopt a practice. During the next week, set aside just 5 minutes each evening to reflect on one thing you gave, one thing you received, and one thing you learned. Pay close attention to how this simple exercise shifts your sense of richness. Soon you'll see prosperity threading through your entire day, independent of external conditions. Consistency with this exercise turns small insights into powerful changes, expanding your perception of what is possible. Remember, embodying wealth in motion means understanding your life is a dynamic process, one marked not by arrival, but by ongoing creation, sharing, and transformation. Let this mindset fuel you no matter what goals await or changes arise. It is your daily practices, your generosity, your openness to both giving and receiving, and your trust in continual growth that ensure prosperity is always with you. Thank you for joining me on this full journey to wealth in action. Create the life of your dreams. Throughout these chapters, you've learned to clarify your vision, shape your mindset, master habits, create value, turn challenges into gifts, and integrate smart systems for multiplying your results, all the way to living prosperity every day. I'm truly grateful you chose to invest this time in your growth and future. If you found these ideas valuable, please like this video, subscribe for more content, and leave your thoughts or personal stories in the comments. Let's continue uplifting one another, creating a vibrant, intentional prosperity community together.